on this week's episode of RamZ's Hoosier Pawn.
I normally wouldn't go that strong. If it was just the jersey and it was loose, I probably would say that's not going to be a spot I want to do the loan at.
Right.
But with the framing job and all the extras and knowing you, this being your centerpiece,
it's an
I know you're going to come back and pick it up. So
Just wanted to show you, Chuck has just done a wonderful job for me, and I want to come in and thank him. This was a bracelet that came from another country, from a very good friend of mine.
This particular one, Laughing Dragon of Oz, they started to print this book, and they didn't have permission. They didn't have the copyright. And so they had to pull it. And so that's why this is one of the rarer ones.
It actually is a spittoon from the late 1890s.
And then if a person walked up, they would step onto that,
Oh my gosh.
open it up and spit in it, and then let it back down.
This is Randy Ramsey, and this is his pawn store. He works here with his wife Melanie, sons Corey and Chad, and daughter Amanda. Many items here have a unique story. And after 25 years in the business, he's learned that you never know what's coming through the door next. This is RamZ's Hoosier Pawn.
you never know what's coming through the door next. Just today, we got a man on the moon, Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and Buzz Aldrin autographed. Official. It's a NASA Apollo 11 official postcard. You just don't see these autographs very often. A lot of these guys, Neil Armstrong hasn't been signing for years, and several of these guys are not around anymore. I think the neatest part of this is, and unfortunate part for me is, I was in Glee Club during Vision 21 back in the day at Purdue University, and I actually met both Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and had a chance to have autographs. I was just kind of embarrassed to ask. Who knew that they would bring such money as they do today? But this is something that I traded for today. Not only is it a really cool item for our area, but it should bring some good money in for the store. If you have any interest in NASA memorabilia, come on in. We have quite a bit of both.
My name's Adam. I brought in a rookie away Michael Jordan autographed jersey. I brought it into pawn. I'm looking to walk away with $700 today.
Hey Adam,
Corey,
how are you, man?
Today?
I'm doing great.
I brought you something real nice.
Yeah. So this is you had called, this is the thing you were talking about, huh?
Yep, that's the Michael Jordan's rookie away jersey.
Wow.
I'd say it's probably the most popular.
Yeah, for
most
sure.
infamous one. And,
Yeah. And it looks like it's Upper Deck authenticated too, with the stickering and everything.
This is a year he won Rookie of the Year.
That's so great. Now this is just one of your collection, because you have the high school one, you've got the 45.
Yeah.
I know you bid on the 12, that one
the rare 12
Yeah.
that he wore in Orlando.
Right.
That his jersey got stolen, so he had to wear number 12 for the game.
Now you've stopped in and looked at some of my other Michael Jordan stuff in the past.
And I bought some, a Muhammad Ali boxing glove from you.
That's right,
A few other things, and brought a good buddy in here, and he's been shopping here now for a couple years.
Yeah, Mark's been coming in pretty often. He was interested in today.
Yeah, exactly. You guys have some of the best memorabilia. I mean, you can look online, but you can't find some of the stuff you have here.
You can come in and touch it and look at it, and
I mean, the glove the boxing glove with Muhammad Ali and Evander Holyfield.
That was awesome.
You won't find it online.
We didn't have that too long. You picked it up quick.
Yep, exactly.
So what are you in for today? You were saying you need a little money. Are you thinking you want to sell it, or are you?
I'm wanting to pawn this for the time being because I own a painting business, and this is our busy season. We paint apartments over across.
So it's just
the
starting busy.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
We paint over at Purdue University some apartments. So I have a lot going out in payroll.
Oh,
and,
gotcha.
My pay doesn't come in for 30 days.
Gotcha.
So I need a little extra money to.
So something that'll last.
Yeah.
So you can pick it up in less than about 30 days, you're thinking?
Yeah, once
great.
I get my check in, that's when I'll be back.
Okay, all right, great.
So, I mean, this is pretty much my pride and joy of all my jerseys.
Right.
Like I said, this is a Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, this is your centerpiece, I think, if I heard right.
Yeah, this is the main jersey. I mean, that's his rookie card.
Yep.
And it's the same jersey.
Yeah, right.
In his rookie card, that's the most valuable Jordan card.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I just like the old school where it's, Chicago in cursive and numbers offset.
It's nicely framed, too. These frame jobs are not cheap either.
Yeah, I had it framed by someone I know, had a lot of little extra stuff put in, like the Bulls had.
Each little detail like that is a lot of the Bulls patch there, the Jordan patch,
and then
the certification put up, the card put over here.
Yeah, I like where it's got the certification, so anybody comes up, they can read.
Even the backdrops, the red backdrops, that's even extra work.
Yep.
But
and, the rookie card in there, that just kind of, with him wearing that jersey.
Yeah,
same jersey.
right.
I mean,
sort of highlights it.
Yeah, this is not a game-worn jersey, but
yeah, if it was, it would be.
Out the roof,
I'd have to probably walk away with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you thinking you want to try to come up with? What's going to get you by?
I've seen these going for about, $1,400, and so I'm probably asking for about half.
Okay. All right.
So just $700.
When I've seen some of the jerseys, I've seen them a little less than that, but I've also seen them more than what you thought too. So I think with the extra work, with the detailing on the frame and all the extra inserts, I don't think it's going to be out of the question. I normally wouldn't go that strong. If it was just the jersey and it was loose, I probably would say that's not going to be a spot I want to do the loan at.
Right.
But with the framing job and all the extras and knowing you, this being your centerpiece,
it's an
I know you're going to come back and pick it up.
Yeah.
So
this will catch anybody's eye.
Oh, for sure.
So,
I think some people that have walked by probably have said, "Hey, I want that out in the parking lot." Even.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I'm glad you made it in with it. Let's. I think that 700 is going to be great.
Okay.
Now, on the phone, I did tell you there's interest charges and all that stuff. But if you pick it up in less than a month, it's just one set of service charges plus the amount you got the loan on.
Right.
So we can go back to the back, and I'll get you rung up on that. It'll just be sitting for you whenever you want to come in. If you need to leave it another month, you just pay the interest charge.
Right.
If you're going to pick it up in a month or less, you just come in and pay the interest charge and the amount we loaned you, and that'll be it.
Right.
So, all right.
Sounds perfect.
Let's go get you written up, man.
Thank you,
All right,
Corey.
thanks for coming in with it.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to come back and get my jersey, and when I come back, I'll probably have more money, and I'm definitely going to buy some more memorabilia.
Coming up next on RamZ's Hoosier Pawn. This is RamZ's Hoosier Pawn.
We can't wait to see what you'll bring into RamZ's Emporium during our regular store hours.
So check your attic,
Scrounge through your basement,
dig in your closet, and don't forget your garage.
find things you forgot you had.
Unusual, cool, crazy, antique, or collectible. To sell, trade, or get a loan on.
We want to showcase Lafayette area's unique and rare treasures. If your item is selected, we will call you for a later taping and you can help us build our 30-minute show.
You never know what's coming through the door next.
At RamZ's Emporium, you never know what's coming through the door next. Looks like we have a pretty big variety of pictures here, Dad.
Yes, interestingly enough, we haven't had this many at one time. I think we got 4 different boxes, all of the Civil War vintage type. We've had the Ambro type, which is your glass. We had Cart Vistas, which is like a cardboard material. And we have a tin type, but this variety is unusual. We have several that are soldiers with uniforms on, and the values will go up if they have a dagger or if they have a rifle or some type of weapon. This is a pretty interesting photograph here. It's a Cart Vista. It's interesting because it's a drummer boy from New York, and we have his name on the back of the picture. It's a Joshua Pitt from the 8th Regiment in New York City, but I rarely see any of drummer boys, and then to have the name and the information about him allow someone to do some research. But all of these are neat. I think one of the trays, the whole tray, they're all related to each other, so that makes it neat to think of, brothers and sisters. And one grouping we have in one of our showcases has 36 different pieces of paper, pictures, and they're all a guy who was in the Civil War, pictures of his children, pictures of his entrance papers into the Civil War, his release papers out of the Civil War. So 36 different pieces, all about one person here in the state of Indiana. So we get in a variety of photographs, and we get documents, and we get papers. If you're interested in the Civil War time period, we have books that give information about it, and we have a lot of photographs, as you can see. We'd be happy to have you take a look at these. Why, hi Sheila,
Hi,
good to
Sheila.
see you again.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good
How
to
are
see
you?
you
So
today.
good to see you again.
Yeah, I think you know Brooke,
I sure do.
what did you bring us today?
Well, I just wanted to show you. Chuck has just done a wonderful job for me, and I want to come in and thank him.
Oh.
This was a bracelet that came from another country, from a very good friend of mine, Kay Binford, from Indianapolis, and she brings these things back from foreign countries, and very honestly, Chuck has to redo them so that they'll last a little while.
Okay.
And that one was broken, and Chuck redid it. And then
very good.
I have my famous United States flag that I only wear on special days.
Now, did you want us to make these into earrings?
No, Randy, I already have these
Okay.
that my hairdresser made for me, which I appreciate.
Was it missing a little stone?
Yes, and he has fixed these twice. And if you notice, it had one long, cleverly done piece across the back, but Chuck has put two of those on there so that it will hold it, because as you can feel, that's a pretty heavy piece.
Yes, it is.
Only to be worn on special occasions.
Too, right?
Well, it's a little loud, but yes, we can wave it
Very nice.
at different parades.
Well, I'm glad we
Randy.
can do something else for you.
So thank you, and I appreciate what you folks do. I bring out all my watches here
Very good.
to Chuck, and all of my earrings when they fall apart.
You've bought a few political related
Oh, yes,
items as
and
well.
your political buttons.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to admit that my treasurer loves Richard Nixon, so I have bought many Richard Nixon
Very good.
memorable items from you, pins and other.
And I think we have a few more pieces.
I'm afraid you do.
Okay, well, I'm going to have Brooke take this and write you up, and we'll take
Thank
it in
you.
and have it done in a couple days.
Okay, thank you
good.
very much.
You're
both of
welcome,
Thanks for
Sheila.
coming in again.
Appreciate it. You bet.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
Here are this week's jewelry care tips.
Did you know that RamZ's is the best place to have your ring cut off? We can do it right and with the least amount of damage to your treasured piece and your pocketbook.
When your glasses break, don't use super glue to try to fix them yourself. What you do causes more damage. RamZ's can fix your glasses while you wait.
We talk about putting your jewelry in a safe place. That would be in a small cotton box, your jewelry box, a jewelry pouch, or a small Ziploc bag. Places that are not safe are tissue or a napkin where they might be thrown out with the trash. If you put your jewelry in your pocket, it may be falling out with other items that you take out of your pocket.
This is Randy RamZ, and this is RamZ's Emporium. He works here with his sons Corey and Chad. You never know what's coming through the door next.
Civil War era 37-star American flag.
A Dan Patch harness racing pocket watch.
One-of-a-kind paintings signed by each player, Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to RamZ's on North Farabee Drive, Lafayette.
These are some of the biggest Hummels I think I've seen in a while.
Yes, these they come in different heights. This is an 8-inch height, of course, in a sitting position. We've got almost 200 Hummels of all different kinds, but this is one of the larger ones. And the thing that's interesting about this one is it's called the full B, which means it has a V with an actual bumblebee in the middle of it. This is actually from the 1950s, and there's a little boy and little girl called the Umbrella Children. So these are very, very neat ones that just came in today. What do you have over there?
Looks like a couple of Franklin Mint items. This one here is a pocket watch with John Wayne on it. And this one here is a General George Custer, again, Franklin Mint knife with a little stand that it sits on. So we got a couple of John Wayne plates, looks like.
And I think we have about 200 collector's plates with all kinds of designs from...
We've got Elvis, I think
Wizard
2
of
full
Oz
sets.
and some of the other...
And some baseball, racing I think I've got, Michael Jordan, quite a bit of different plates.
I think just the other day you sold us some typesets for printers, and here today we got in, I think it was 3 small boxes, each one is cut out of brass or bronze with a design that they would impress in paper or whatever they're using them for. Some of these were stamped on magazines originally, and some in newspapers, and some for just pamphlets that were done up.
And a lot of times you see them where they're a thin sheet of metal applied to wood, but these are all metal, and the ones I brought in were all metal, solid, thick. Some of them are a little thinner. This will give you the idea how thick they are, but some of the printer's blocks I brought in were about that deep, and a couple of these in here are a little deeper yet too.
So if you have an interest in being creative and want to pick up some of these designs, either to print onto paper or simply to use for display, we've got several boxes that just came in today.
My name is Michael, and I brought a few items in today to RamZ's Emporium. I'm hoping to get maybe $1,000 or so out of my big little books. I've got more than that in them, but at times, you got to part with things. I did bring in some etchings from the 1700s that I thought that the people of Lafayette might just like to be interested in because I found them locally. And then I brought in a marble collection that my daughter and I had worked on collecting. So not sure what they're all worth, but Mr. RamZ and I are going to talk about that and see what we can come up with.
Hello, I'm Randy.
Mike.
I'm Corey. Great to meet you.
You too.
Looks like you've been collecting a while.
Yes. I have been collecting a few things I've found locally, and I've got my daughters into collecting things when they were young, so they'd appreciate old stuff.
Yeah, Dad got us into collecting as well.
I bet he did. What would you like to talk about first?
Well, let's start over here. You said that you got your children into collecting. I see these are all packages of marbles.
Yeah, I let my daughters decide kind of like what they wanted to collect. Okay. And one decided she wanted to collect marbles, and marbles can be very expensive and very hard, and who knows whether they're machine or whatever. So I found just a bag of marbles and thought, that's what we should try to collect. So over the years, as they were growing up, they would go with me to auctions, or we'd look on the internet and stuff, and so we'd find really cool bags of marbles and little things like that.
I see this is called a marble gun.
Marble gun.
It would shoot spring-loaded marbles, what every child needs.
Exactly, especially now.
Danger.
Yeah, and then this is like a very, very old shooter.
So you'd actually use this to shoot?
Yeah, instead of your thumb.
All right, nice.
Yeah. And that's the same thing this does. Let's put it on the ground, load it up. I guess it would be cheating, but for a girl, I told her to go for it.
Sure. I know it's loads of fun to shoot marbles, but some of the best marbles got destroyed by shooting them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I saw some of the headers on these are pretty neat. There's Felix the Cat Eyes. There was Dick Tracy Straight Shooters.
Right.
There's even a Lone Ranger Silver Bullets done in like silvery casted.
But what you got to watch for is something like this. And as you can see how this has been, somebody has recently printed that.
Yeah,
and I actually bought that on the internet, and it wasn't a real great picture, but I recognized the Moxie, and I was like, I gotta have that.
Then.
And then I got it. So luckily we didn't pay much money for it.
Yeah, and you can sort of tell the new stuff from the older paper.
You can.
Now they've started to do some stuff where they've been pretty tricky. Not only we've talked about recently where they've faked some coins and things like that we've caught, but they've started to do some paper, even into sports cards and different stuff like that. So it's always good to keep an eye out for that kind of stuff.
So we've got a marble collection going on. We also, on this end,
I recognize those. We've had that big group.
I know what these are. These are little big books.
Little big books.
In the hands of a kid, it probably is a pretty big book.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're the precursor to the comic book. And I think the first one came out in like 1929, and it ended in about 1940.
Yeah.
So the 30s were the really big ones. This particular one, Laughing Dragon of Oz, they started to print this book, and they didn't have permission. They didn't have the copyright. And so they had to pull it. And so that's why this is one of the rarer ones, Joel.
And I see on your price guide,
right there on the front.
Has it featured right here on the front.
Yeah.
Now, how many of these do you have?
I have, I think, about 79 of them.
79.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I've paid anywhere from like $5 to $50, just depending on what you get.
Sure.
What I thought was really interesting is like you will have Houdini's Magic here, and then if you were a kid and your parents went to Amoco Gas or American Gas, you could save up tickets and send them in, and you would get a premium book. Which you can tell is a lot smaller than the other book, but yeah, just so
still same cover, but it's a little thinner.
Yeah, and they had other premiums from What was this one? I think it was Cocoa Malt. Everybody knows Cocoa Malt, so.
Yeah. Looks like you got a Mickey Mouse there, one of the earlier ones.
Yeah, it's one of the first Mickey Mouse that came out. And they're really, really hard to find. As you can tell, the binding's missing on this one, which does affect the value, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're really, really hard to find.
Yeah, and the Buck Rogers, I've actually had people ask me for the action figures, but that's earlier than probably those would have come out.
Those would have come out.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons, like this Green Hornet, you can see just in phenomenal condition for as old as it is.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Coming up next on RamZ's Hoosier Pawn. This is RamZ's Emporium.
Would you like to be on an upcoming episode of RamZ's Hoosier Pawn?
Our goal is to showcase unique and collectible treasures from the Lafayette area.
It could be an item that you want to sell, trade, or get a loan on.
So bring your item to RamZ's Emporium anytime during regular store hours.
If your item is chosen, you'll be contacted for a later taping.
Meet us at RamZ's Emporium.
205 Farraby Drive North.
You never know what's coming through the door next.
And this is quite a bit different as far as a collectible type thing.
Yeah, how'd you come across that?
Yeah. This one I brought in because I just kind of wanted everybody in Lafayette to know that there's still things in Lafayette to be found. Okay, I found 4 of these, and I think the oldest one, this might be the oldest one, 1795, but they're etchings, and I found them stuffed in a manila envelope behind a portrait of a woman, and got them for $1. So I bought 4 for $1,
And it's actually dated 1700s.
And when you look at these, a lot of times you think, oh, this is a cutout of one of the books and stuff. But when you start flipping it down and you see the way it's finished off on the edging there.
And it's also imprinted.
Imprinted, yeah. Then you know it's not just a cutout of one of the old magazines or one of those little picture books.
Now here's
exactly.
You had this one framed in?
Oh, they've all been framed. We took this one out just so that
so we can see the.
Well, we didn't know if they're real or not, you know, and so I took it down to the art gallery, and the Lafayette Art Gallery. What a wonderful place that is. The people are super nice in there, and the lady's like, "Well, I can't really tell unless you take it out of the frame." It was out of the frame. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's real." So then we knew we had 4 real ones, and this was I brought 2 in. I wanted to show you that. The difference in the quality, that you can tell there's a little foxing in this one and stuff, but the other 3 are pretty much like that. So
these you're not really thinking about selling, just more.
Yeah, just more. I just kind of wanted to share it and to kind of show.
Now, what kind of values do you figure that these might have?
I looked them up, and they're going anywhere from like $500 to $600 on the internet. So
like
but I'm not sure she's interested in selling them or what.
Now these other items, are you thinking about selling or getting a loan or trading or?
No, I'd like to just sell them.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you said you had about 79 of these, and I think you had. We have a price list here that you had brought in. You said it totaled what kind?
About $2,700.
$2,700.
Yeah, I tell you what I'd do. I'd probably let them go at $15 a book.
Okay.
And that'll give you guys some high end, low end. You're not going to get maybe what you think on some of them, but you might get more on the other ones.
If you would permit us, just because we've had about 80 of these in before, and some we sold at a lot less than that. But if there's
enough high-end ones like the Laughing Dragon one of Oz and some of the ones that may bring that premium, it might offset enough to make us want to pay the extra on the other ones.
If you wouldn't mind leaving them for a couple of days to give us a chance to go
That'd be
through
great.
them and see. So let's think in terms of doing that here.
Okay.
Did you have anything particular in mind on the marble side?
I was thinking maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking the marbles, the bag, the old shooter, everything. $300.
Any idea how many bags there were?
No, I have no idea.
Okay,
We just were collecting them. I mean, and I'll leave them here too if you guys want to look those up.
I was going to say that might be good
because
I've had a lot of marbles in, but not a lot in packages.
Bagged, yeah.
Right.
So if you wouldn't mind allowing us to do that on both of these, that would be great, and we could do a little research, and that would be more fair with you.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
If we come to an agreement on a price and stuff, would you be interested in maybe doing a trade for, say, some silver or something like that?
That's very possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
I might
we've
be
done that
interested in
before
doing
in
something like
collectibles.
that.
What I'll do is I'll have my son write you up a receipt that you've left this with us, and we'll do a little bit of research and see what we can come up with.
Yeah,
That'd
we
be
really
awesome.
appreciate you bringing that in.
Oh,
so we
okay.
can see it too.
Yeah, I just thought that was neat.
That's pretty cool to
There's
see
still
the stuff
out
that
there,
that people can find here in Lafayette.
Yeah, yeah.
It really is.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I
thanks.
appreciate it.
We'll get you written
It's
up.
nice meeting you. Okay,
All right.
let's go write
All right,
something
thanks.
up.
My name is Hazel. I brought in a turtle spittoon today from the late 1890s, and I'm hoping to get around 200 for it.
Well,
there.
Hi. I'm Randy.
Hi, Randy.
I'm Melanie.
Hi, Melanie.
I think you've been in before, haven't you?
I have.
Yes, as a matter of fact, you brought this in one other time with some other items. We bought some of the other items, and we thought it was very neat. What is it?
It actually is a spittoon from
just-
the late 1890s.
Wow.
I think this would have sat actually on top of the receptacle, and then if a person walked up, they would step onto that.
Oh my gosh.
Open it up and spit in it and let it back down.
Wow.
Did you know anything about the history on it?
Not a lot. And I was asking my sisters, and they didn't know a lot either. But my understanding is that it was in a bank.
Oh, okay.
And my great uncle gave it to my father.
Oh my gosh.
And he was a pretty well-established, wealthy businessman at the time. So
Oh.
I'm thinking he was probably in banking. I can't
Do
verify
you think
that.
it's made of solid gold?
I
Since he was
wish.
in banking.
You've never used it, right?
I'm not going to tell. On television, are you kidding me?
Do you know what year
Sorry.
it is?
Do I know what it is?
What year it is?
What, 1890?
I would have said turn of the century.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that's
but,
amazing.
And I had never seen one before, and at the time when you brought it in before, we did a little bit of research on it. Did you have an idea what you were wanting to do? Are you thinking about selling it or getting a loan on it, or
Trading for something else in the store?
any?
All of those are tempting, especially the trading. Yeah.
What do you like in our store? What would you buy? What would you trade it for?
I still have a lot to see.
Okay, great.
I love the stained glass particular.
Oh, and we've got several stained glass items. So you are considering maybe selling it then?
I am considering selling
Okay.
it, yes.
Well, if you do decide to sell it, and we can arrive on a price, if you decide to do some trading, we generally allow a little higher trade value. Did you have a figure in mind that you were hoping for?
Actually, I was hoping for around 200.
200. Yeah, just when we had done some research earlier on it, I think where we were thinking in terms of was about 125. If you were considering trading out, depending upon what flexibility, we might be in that 150 to 2 range on a trade basis.
Oh, really?
But if we were just buying it outright, probably about 125.
Okay.
Decisions.
And if you want to look around some more, you're welcome to do that. You don't have to say, "Yep, this is what I'm doing at this very second." But
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that.
give a little thought, and we certainly appreciate you bringing in such a unique piece.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Again?
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay.